let's just get started. Let's get farted. Um, why does music make me tingle? It's a question I've had for a little bit, you know? I listen to a lot of music and it makes me tingle when I listen to really good songs. And so I've been thinking, like, why does it make me tingle? What is it about these songs that make me tingle? First of all, music making people tingle is actually pretty common. It's called frisson. It's French for friction, I think. No, tingle. I don't know what it's French for something, okay? It happens when a beautiful or unexpected moment in a song triggers your brain's reward system to release dopamine. The thing is though, I've heard these songs hundreds of times. I've listened to them hundreds of times. And every single time, they make me tingle. So it can't be the unexpected factor. It has to be the beauty factor. I just can't help but tingle when I listen to these songs. Okay, enough about me tingling. Let's just start with the song that gave me the idea for this video in the first place. I don't know if I have to explain this, but if you've heard the song before, you know exactly what I mean. The song starts with this atmosphere of almost anxiety, like it's building up to something, which it is, it's building up to the vocals. The lyrics are meaningful and reflect the anxiety from the beginning of the song, but they also reveal the desperation that comes with this feeling of wanting to be with a girl. The instrumentation also does a really good job of just building that atmosphere and keeping it throughout the whole song, further reflecting the speaker's feelings. And I like how the drums are more prominent during the chorus to emphasize how the speaker feels. Since we're on Mac DeMarco, I might as well just include the rest of his songs that are on this list. So in no particular order, I have Chamber of Reflection, For the First Time, Moonlight on the River, and My Kind of Woman. I think his talent for being able to give you the vibe or feeling of a song within the first 5 seconds with just instrumentation is a testament to how, in music, you don't always need lyrics or vocals for it to have an impact on you. I mean, just for example, with the 5 songs I listed.
While she's been away.
These sounds make me tingle. Good job, Mac DeMarco. Tame Impala has 14 songs on this list, and for good reason. I mean, it is Tame Impala. The choir at the start of the Boat I Row is one of the first examples I thought of when I thought of other songs that made me tingle. The Boat I Row is also thematically tingly, if that makes sense. He talks about how making decisions in life is hard. I mean, there's always going to be several people telling you where to go, what to do, as well as your own internal fears and insecurities. But at the end of the day, you're the only person that has to live with those decisions. It's the boat that you row. Other than that, pretty much every song on Currents makes me tingle. I listen to that album all the time and I love it. But especially songs like New Person, Same Old Mistakes, The Moment, List of People, Eventually, and Let It Happen all reflect these emotions you feel while undergoing change in your life. And listening to these songs makes me reflect on my life in a way many other songs don't. Patience is a great introspective piece about the passage of time and how we as people want things to change. But the decisions that lead to that change are often convoluted and can take time. And not to mention, the song just sounds wonderful. The syncopation at the beginning makes me tingle every time. Good job, Tame Impala. I like your synths. They make me tingle. Joji is another artist with a considerable amount of songs on this list. Most of my favorite songs from him have this kind of contrast where his vocals are really gentle, but the emotions that he's describing are really intense. He also has a few songs that stray away from that pattern that are on this list, but I'll just show you what I mean. Like You Do, Glimpse of Us, Die For You, World Star Money, Afterthought, 1 AM Freestyle, Past Won't Leave My Bed, and Hotel California are all examples of what I was talking about. A lot of these songs give me the same feeling that I get when I go to a place that I haven't been to in a long time. It's familiar because I used to spend a lot of time there and I have memories there, but it's also distant because of the time that has passed. I guess you can apply that to Joji's music too, you know, the emotions are similar, you know, we've all gone through something similar that he's talking about, but it's different because the emotions are different. Joji's emotions are not my emotions, they're not your emotions. The other songs that have different production than gentle vocals, intense emotions are Sanctuary, Slow Dancing in the Dark, Run, Love You Less, and Sojourn. These songs lean into the intensity of the emotions he's trying to portray. Sanctuary reflects the intensity of happiness in a relationship. Slow Dancing in the Dark reflects the intensity of feeling you know you can't have someone. Run is the messy breakup arc. Love You Less is dealing with feelings of uncertainty and unrequited love. And Sojourn is about understanding that the time you have someone is fleeting regardless of where the relationship is headed. So it's best to just try to enjoy it to the fullest. Good job, Joji. I like your lyricism and your instrumentation and just you in general. Vacations is one of my favorite bands, and I'm glad they're releasing music soon. They've got a light 7 songs on this list, and I think the best way to describe Vacations is that they have a little bit of everything for everyone. You like sad songs? They have Telephones, a classic due to its relatable lyrics and haunting atmosphere. They have Over You, it talks about being obsessed with someone. Young, talking about the passage of time and how people often convince themselves that they're going to change, but they don't. You want more upbeat songs? They have Next Exit, which talks about making your own decisions in life and how failure is just a part of growing and changing. Honey, again, talking about making decisions in your life, but it's reframed as the hope that drives you to make those decisions to be a better person. Club Social talks about thinking about someone a lot and understanding how those emotions play out in a group setting. And then there's Be There. Be There is very high up on the list for me in terms of vacation song. It's written in 6/8, and hearing that drum pattern for the first time really made me curious about what the song had to offer. I like the vocalization in the chorus, and the lyrics are just about wanting to be someone, but that feeling slowly fading away. It's mostly the swing. The swing of the song makes me tingle. Good job, Vacations. You guys make purposeful, bite-sized pieces of music for everyone to enjoy, and that makes me tingle. Before I just start giving you one-off songs, I want to say that I might not analyze these songs like I did before. Some of these songs do actually make me tingle because of the song. The lyricism, the vocals, the lyrics, everything that has to do with the song itself. But some of these songs just remind me of someone. They remind me of someone I haven't talked to in a long time. They remind me of a specific time in my life, of a specific memory. And I don't want to talk about that on the internet. That's kind of scary. That's kind of weird. Chances are, if I don't need to explain it, or I don't explain it as thoroughly, it probably doesn't need an explanation, and you should just listen to it because it might make you tingle too. Starting with 505, it builds off the dissonance and tension from the introduction by slowly layering in more instruments to represent the tension from the lyrics. And then at the climax at 229, it releases that tension. I just really like how the song is written. Lover is a Day reminds me of an old relationship I was in, and the intro reminds me of a specific night. The atmosphere is just very well put together, and the lyrics elevate the intensity of the feelings. For Lovers Rock, I mean, the strings at the start just give me this sense of sadness, which is exactly what they're going for. Again, it reminds me of someone. Pride is thematically great. The lyricism and flow is awe-inspiring, and it reminds me of someone I used to be close with, but don't talk to as much. I remember him playing this song in his car and us having a good conversation. I don't think he knew how much it meant to me, but I'm glad I can remember him and the conversation we had through the song. Sunflower might be kind of a goofy pick, but it reminds me of simpler days. I remember hearing the song on the radio, and I remember everyone listening to the song when the movie first came out as a small kid, and it just reminds me of those days. I also really like the instrumentation. The emotions portrayed in hearing voices are so raw, and the instrumentation starts off so tame compared to the rest of the song. I just really like how it builds up. Affection does something I haven't noticed in many other songs. It does this thing where the instrumental and vocals weave in and out of each other, which I understand sounds like other songs don't do that, which other songs do, but like the way they do it in this song is different. It sounds different, to me at least. It's gonna sound nerdy, but when I first heard it, it made me think of two offset sine waves, and I imagined the song existing between the balance of their peaks and troughs, which again sounds really nerdy, but I don't know, I used like math to explain it in my head. Not to mention that the theme, the lyricism, the instrumentation are all good, which is what allows that effect to happen in the first place. I don't know how to explain why Bad Dream makes me tingle, but I know it has something to do with the drum hits being muted in the first few seconds. Like the guitar is covering something up, which matches the song well thematically. The chorus is also posed as a series of questions where the speaker is trying to understand and help the other person, and it just sounds so freaking good. Oh Tengo Suerte feels like it captures the essence of joy, of bliss, of hope, and of appreciating life for what it is. And not to mention, the drop at 102 hits twice as hard as the first minute. It just reminds me of the feeling of happiness in general. I found Moonlight on YouTube after his video popped up in my feed, and it's so raw. The video is one of the most accurate depictions of what it feels like to make something, and I love the video as a tribute to the song. It makes you feel like you're part of the process and already ties you to the song before you even listen to it. I really don't think he was exaggerating when he said making the best song ever. I think it really is one of the best songs ever. I love how much emotion he puts into it and how well it's mixed. The lyrics are vaguely about a girl out of reach, and the screaming is probably my favorite part. Shout out Suburban Queens. First Love Late Spring reminds me of someone, but the contrast of the calm verses and the intense chorus really makes me tingle. After I wrote that about First Love Late Spring, I realized that most of these songs follow a similar pattern. Songs with contrasting emotional intensity in lyrics and instrumentals, as well as the general theme of change, love, or sadness, seem to be more prominent than others. But I'll talk about that later. Just keep it in the back of your mind. Although Whippoorwill is about a bird, it means a lot more to me, and I'm sure if you listen to it, it means a lot more to you too. I first heard it in the background of Anthpo's video about graduating high school, and ever since then, the song has been more about change and growth for me. The guitar also makes me feel really nostalgic. Not for anything in particular, but it's just the sense I get from the guitar. Astro Thunder has probably one of the best instrumentals I've ever heard. The lyrics are also deep enough to provoke thought, but it's mostly the instrumental. The instrumental makes me tingle. I really want to stay at your house. I also don't need to explain this one. I need to do a video about Attack on Titan at some point, but Red Swan is easily top 3 songs from the anime. It reminds me of, well, Attack on Titan, but it also reminds me of my senior year of water polo and the things we accomplished because I was watching AOT at the time. The vocals in the second half of the song, along with that sweet, sweet guitar, just makes the song so rewarding to listen to, and it makes me tingle every time. The piano-only version of Clair de Lune is clean, it's simple, and it evokes many emotions without the need for lyrics. It's probably my favorite classical song. Are Your Math is one of the best songs from arguably the best game of all time. I could honestly throw most of Minecraft's soundtrack in here, but I'll just stick to Are Your Math. I have a few more songs that I could talk about, but I think I've covered a good variety and depth of different places and feelings and times in my life. So I'll just explain one more song. Life Goes On is thematically beautiful, and it talks about enduring the hardships of life, if you couldn't tell from the title. The chorus is also just one of my favorite pieces of writing ever. It goes, "So do you fill yourself with pills, oh, to deaden your ills? Or are you only one love short of happiness? And in a picture on the wall, no glimmer of yourself at all, you've let yourself far away." I think the first 2 lines are pretty self-explanatory. We as humans distract ourselves from the miseries of everyday life, and pills are just a metaphor for whatever you use to distract yourself. The third line really made me think, because at first I thought it was about loving someone else, and how their love can bring meaning to your life. But the more I listened to the song, I realized it was about self-love. The ability to love yourself will make your life exponentially easier. And the verses reflect that when they say you look unrecognizable compared to your past self. They're saying that something changed from the past to now to the point where you can't love yourself. And that's really all I have in terms of songs that make me tingle. Oh, I guess I should address what I said after First Love, Late Spring. Songs with contrasting emotional intensity make me tingle because I love noticing opposites. I love noticing contrasts and applying the general theme of contrast to my own life. And music already does that very well. The general themes of love, change, or sadness show up the most in these songs because they show up the most in life as well. Those emotions are crucial to the human experience. Love promotes change, change promotes sadness, sadness promotes love. And you can mix and match them in several ways as general themes and end up with thousands of different songs and messages. I find it interesting that music finds new ways to say the same thing over and over again, but I don't mind. I like listening to all these different interpretations about these themes because that's what music and life is about. It's about connection. These songs all make me feel connected to something. That's why they make me tingle. Whether it's a friend, a lover, a memory, a past time of my life, anything that it connects me to, it makes me tingle because that's what music does. It connects people and ideas and times and places. And that's why it's so beautiful. That's why I freaking love music, bro. Okay. But seriously, I couldn't imagine life or music without this feeling of connection. Thank you so much for watching, and I've got more coming soon. Bang!